The Ford Everest was Drive's Car of the Year champion last year, as well as winning Best Four-Wheel Drive. But for 2016, it's up against two new contenders to hold onto its title, the Holden Trailblazer and the Mitsubishi Pajero Sport. But is the Everest still Australia's best off-roader? All three contenders in this class follow the same basic formula, using the underpinnings of a ute with a 7-seat body and some added refinement to make them more like an SUV and less like a workhorse. First up is the Mitsubishi, which despite its name has nothing to do with the Pajero and is in fact built on the same foundations as the Triton. We're testing it in GLS trim level, which sits just below the top spec Exceed. The Japanese brand has done a good job of disguising it as a ute inside, with a car-like interior complete with leather trim, Apple CarPlay, digital radio and a reversing camera, to name a few highlights. But while the judges felt it was the most car-like inside, it was the most ute-like on the road. The ride is choppy and extremely busy. The Pajero Sport was also let down by its engine. The 2.4 litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel produces a respectable 133 kilowatts and 430 newton meters, but it suffers from some turbo lag and can be noisy under acceleration. While it makes a strong value argument, ultimately the Pajero Sport ended up in third place in our voting. Next up is the Holden Trailblazer LTZ, the replacement for the Colorado 7. But while it is still based on the Colorado Ute, engineered in Brazil and built in Thailand, Holden's local engineering team had a lot of influence on the suspension setup of this new model. And Holden has done a good job on the ride and handling, with the judges hailing it as a big step forward from the Colorado 7. The 2.8 litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel also earned praise for its 147 kilowatts and 500 newton meters of performance, even if it was a bit noisy. But the Trailblazer was let down by some elements Holden couldn't change, most significantly the interior, which had some cheap-looking materials, poor ergonomics, and the smallest third row. It put up a good fight, but ultimately it couldn't knock off the Ford, but took a respectable second place. The Everest, though, took a unanimous victory, the only car to win its category with a perfect score in 2016. Not only has it retained all the strengths that helped it to victory in 2015, Ford hasn't stood still, and the introduction of the new Sync 3 infotainment system brings newer and better functionality. It also comes with plenty of active safety features too, including lane keeping assist and active cruise control, which makes it feel more technologically advanced than its rivals. But that comes at a price. The Everest Trend starts at $60,990, which is well above the $48,500 for the Mitsubishi and the $52,490 asking price for the Holden. So what makes the Everest a winner again? Well, it may be the most expensive car in this class, but this demonstrates the very concept of getting what you pay for. The Everest feels more refined, more SUV-like, and easier to live with than any of its rivals. It still retains that hardcore working class character of the Ranger. So it's still a heavy-duty four-wheel drive and has no trouble getting well and truly off the beaten track. As we discovered last year, well, this new breed of crossovers, they're basically just high-riding wagons. The Everest remains a true utility vehicle, comfortable enough to drive to the shops as it is to drive across the outback. So while the Everest can't contend for the overall title again, it is a worthy winner of the title of Drive's Car of the Year Best Four-Wheel Drive for 2016.